Hello there you guys, welcome to another one of my live videos, and today I'm just going to be officially updating you on some more current and latest news. So if you do consider drop your likes, and if you do consider subscribe to the channel, as always, so as I do say, I'm going to give you some update on some transfer rooms that are going on, as I do update you on a regular basis, and we do update you on this currently daily as well. So we do know that definitely investment is needed into Manchester United this summer, of course, as well, and it's looking like still, considering that we suffered a back-to-back defeats, for the first time under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer reign. It's still likely that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will land the Manchester United job on a full-time basis. It hasn't been fully announced as yet. It maybe could be announced at the end of the season, but reports were coming out most recently saying that it's likely that actually Manchester United want to announce him before the end of this month. Solskjaer, getting the job on a full-time basis. Based on his fantastic progression he's done so far. Since he's come to Manchester United as well. Obviously, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer himself, it's looking likely he's going to land the job at Manchester United on a full-time basis. So he has been discussing, about the club's summer transfer plans. So he will have his say on our transfers in the summer as well. Obviously, he will make the decisions, of what players Manchester United sell as well. I think Solskjaer has recently reported out that he does want 4 summer signings. Does Ole Gunnar Solskjaer? So he wants to get 4 players this summer, and I think he's actually identified the areas, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, where he does currently want to strengthen up. But I think, Solskjaer's priority and Manchester United's priority, is to actually, recommend the right winner to come to Manchester United this summer. So Solskjaer is focusing on more attacking additions and more of attacking additions to the squad, because he did recently say, did Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, that he wants to give our current defenders a chance, to improve and improve and prove themselves and all that as well. So I think recent reports did suggest out that he's not interested in buying any defenders this summer, but we definitely do need a centre back, and we need an experienced centre back, and we need a world class centre back, because as I did say, we haven't had one since since we had Vidic and Ferdinand, who were in all competitions under him. We've had back-to-back defeats, a couple of bad games, and it always happens. This happened when we had Alex Ferguson. You can't win every game, and that's just the way football is. I'm disappointed that Manchester United, of course, are out of the FA Cup, because I think that was the best chance we had of winning any silverware this season, of course, as well, because I don't see us really winning the Champions League, to be quite honest with you. But obviously, we want to get that top 4 this season as well if we don't win that Champions League, of course, because there's quite a few teams, going for that top 4. So it is essential after the international break that we do get back to winning ways, of course, as well. And these back-to-back defeats are a reality check for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So we've got to get back to winning ways after the international break to keep our top 4 ambitions alive as well. So we've got Watford coming up after the international break. Then we've got Wolves again away in the Premier League game, of course, as well. But overall, Solskjaer's done a really, really good job, considering that, since, we didn't invest in the January transfer window, so we didn't spend any money in the January transfer window, considering, the string of injuries as well Manchester United have had. I know Manchester United, I know we spent a lot of money since Alex Ferguson left. We must have invested like 700-800 million pounds, something like that, since Alex Ferguson left. Probably 90%, the players we bought were probably the wrong choice, probably, the wrong mentality and all that as well. But we have spent a lot of money, since Alex Ferguson retired. But Solskjaer's done a really, really good job, because when he came in, Manchester United were 11 points behind top 4, of course, and now, obviously we're in the mix for that top 4. So you've got to credit, what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's done, and there's still the rumours going out that he hasn't been fully appointed as yet, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and he hasn't really. Some people say, well, obviously he hasn't really got that managerial experience, of like winning any major honours or all that, and he hasn't got a great managerial pedigree, and every fan's every fan's got a right, to have an opinion, and he hasn't got a great managerial pedigree at the moment, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But as we do know, that investment is needed into Manchester United in the summer, so we do need to see some new additions, coming to the club as well. So it is essential that we do either get Champions. So it's essential that we get Champions League for next season. Oh yeah, it's essential we get Champions League for next season so we can have a more competitive summer transfer window. But he's done good so far. Solskjaer's been temporary boss, but is Solskjaer? The question is Solskjaer good enough to be Manchester United manager on a full-time basis? And that is the question people are asking of course as well. But he knows about the club as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as we all know. He knows everything about the club. From being a great player for 11 years under Alex Ferguson. Scored 126 goals in all competitions. Won a lot of trophies as a player. Did Ole Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, of course, as well. But you know, he hasn't really proven himself as manager at the moment in terms like winning any major honours and all that as well. But I still believe he's the right man for Manchester United. You know, if Manchester United were after the international break to go 2 or 3 games winless, then you know, then there would be questions asked. You know, but if Solskjaer, you know, would be the right man, then there would be questions asked, as we all know. And yeah, then I'd probably, you know, then I'd be probably having a different conversation with you guys as well. And we know some contract renewals we need to sort out as well, as they have been updating you. So there's quite a few players, you know, of course, you know, that Manchester United are linked with, of course, as well. There's been reports again coming out about Inter Milan's Icardi that I've been giving you an update on. You know, Icardi that I've been giving you an update on. Reports are coming out. I think he's valued at around £100 million or something like that. Recent reports coming out saying that Inter Milan want around £68 million for Icardi, reportedly, because reports are now saying that Inter Milan are prepared to cash in for Icardi this summer, reportedly as well. And Manchester United have actually now been interested in Icardi as well. And we know the other week, or was it quite a few weeks ago now, you know, there was a narrative going on saying that there was talks going on in the media, you know, of Lukaku and Icardi as a potential swap deal, reportedly as well. But I think, you know, if Manchester United do decide to sell Lukaku this summer, Lukaku's not interested in going. He's no interest in going to Inter Milan, even though Inter Milan, you know, showed identified Lukaku as a good replacement, you know, for Icardi as well. And Icardi is a very, very good player, and obviously he's just not too long ago lost the captain's armband for Inter Milan. He's obviously Inter Milan's 9th highest top goal scorer of all time as well. So he's one of the biggest. He's obviously prolific goal scorer. He's He's a prolific goal scorer. You know, he's been in Inter Milan a number of years now. He's been in Inter Milan since 2013 as Icardi as well. So this is his 6th season now with Inter Milan. Obviously, all his goals he scored, you know, the majority of them have obviously, you know, become as an Inter Milan player, and he has scored over 100 odd goals as Icardi as well. And yeah, so this is his 6th season now with Inter Milan as Icardi's. So Manchester United have reportedly, you know, showed an interest in, but I think Inter Milan are prepared to cash in for the player as well. I think he's got a release clause of around £100 million as Icardi as well. But he's grown and developed fantastically well, and he's 26 years of age, just not too long ago turned 26. He's Argentinian, of course, as well, and he's a really, really good player, and I think he'd be a good addition, you know, to our squad, you know, if we could come to an agreement to get Icardi in the summer. But I think we'll only go for Icardi if Manchester United, you know, do decide to sell Romelu Lukaku, of course, as well, because we know at the moment, obviously, you know, Lukaku has got a current ankle injury, as we all currently know, and we know recently, you know, he has regained his position in the team as Romelu Lukaku, and he has been playing really, really well as Romelu Lukaku. But now he's currently got an ankle injury. I don't know how long he's initially out for, but he's got an ankle injury. You know, he's been assessed. He got sent for the scan and all that as well. So he's set to miss Belgium's upcoming games during this international break as well as Romelu Lukaku. And it's a shame really, because he's regained his, you know, position in most recently, and he has been in really, really good form. And I think his form has been rejuvenated, you know, since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's coming out. I think Lukaku performs better, you know, when he is getting that support up front, you know, from Marcus Rashford, because when Lukaku's on his own, he's not reliable enough, you know, to make all them sprints and get them runs in behind. But I think when someone's supporting him, supporting Lukaku up front, I think he looks definitely more effective indeed, you know, does Romelu Lukaku. So if Man United do decide to sell him in the summer, of course we'll try and recoup the initial £75 million we paid for him, which I do think Manchester United will find difficult. But he's only 25 years of age, and you know, Lukaku's got a lot of years ahead of him. As I said, he's got a really, really good pedigree in the Premier League as well. So I think, you know, Man United will probably only move for Icardi if we decide to sell Lukaku this summer, because obviously Icardi's not been our main priority, has he? Because there's been other targets Manchester United have been monitoring more than Icardi. But there has been rumours going on saying that Inter Milan are prepared to cash in for Icardi as well. When he was younger, he actually had an impressive season with Sampdoria, didn't he, Icardi? He had a season with Sampdoria, and he actually began his youth career with Barcelona, so he did graduate from Barcelona's youth system, did Icardi as well. But very, very good play, good box to box. He's a fantastic, efficient finisher, and scores loads and loads of goals as he's proven in Italian football as well. So it would be good for him, you know, to experience the Premier League and see, you know, how he would fit in, you know, to be quite honest here as well. So there has been rumours about that going on. I think Inter Milan will demand that they want around £68 million for him, or something like that as well. I think a few other teams have attracted an interest in Icardi as well. But we know other transfer rumours that have been currently going on, guys, as well. We know Manchester United have got, quite a few targets, we're interested. Obviously, we've been interested in Jadon Sancho. He's actually, I think Manchester United have identified him as the number one target for this summer. Jadon Sancho, of course, as well. Again, very, very young, only 18 years of age, is Jadon Sancho. And I think he's attracted interest, from quite a few teams across Europe as Jadon Sancho as well, because he's grown, developed, and he's flourished fantastically well. And I think he fits in that Borussia Dortmund team very, very well indeed. And he's been at Borussia Dortmund a couple of years now. I think regardless of what Manchester United offer this summer, I think Borussia Dortmund are standing firm, and they are going to be reluctant to let him go, even if Man United have parents pay up to £100 million. This is according to the Borussia Dortmund director. He believes that Jadon Sancho will remain at Dortmund in the new season, of course, as well. But if Manchester United could come to an agreement to get him for around 80 million or £100 million, this would obviously make him the most expensive English footballer ever. Obviously, the most expensive English footballer at the moment, of course, is Kyle Walker. Manchester City signed him a year or two ago for 50 million. Well, 53 million, because there was some add-ons included as well, so it was 53 million pounds. So if Man United could come to an agreement to get Jadon Sancho in the summer, we would be paying almost double, for Jadon Sancho. I'm making him the most expensive English footballer ever, than what City, currently paid for Kyle Walker as well. But Jadon Sancho is a very, very good player. He shows that ability to attack. He scores goals. He's a really, really good player, to be quite honest. And I think, do you think Jadon Sancho is a solution, to Manchester United's problems? I'd say yes, to be quite honest with you. But Manchester United are prepared to make him the most expensive English footballer ever. Also, if we did get him, he'd be our most expensive signing as well, Jadon Sancho. And he's a very, very good player, and he's still got a contract, don't forget, with Dortmund till 2022, as we all know. He's had experience of playing in English football. Don't forget, he had a couple of years with Man City. He never broke into the first team with Manchester City, and this is probably the majority of the reason why he left City and went to Borussia Dortmund, of course, as well. He actually began his youth career with Watford as well, did Jadon Sancho, for a number of years as well. But Borussia Dortmund only paid around £8 million for him from Manchester City back in 2017, as we all know as well. So financially, Borussia Dortmund would make a huge profit on the play, but I think Borussia Dortmund, are not bothered. They know how how essential Jadon Sancho is to their team as well. But I think some people say we can't even afford to get Jadon Sancho. For me, we have got the financial power to meet his valuation, of course, because obviously we didn't spend any money in January. As I did say, I know we spent a lot of money over the years and over the managerial eras, but as I did currently say, Man United are going to get around £200 million to spend this summer anywhere, as reports do say. So that's what we're going to get. That's going to be our spending spree this summer as well. So yeah, Jadon Sancho, I think he's actually been a number one priority target, for Manchester United, to be quite honest with you. We also know that Joe Felix, that Benfica youngster, has also been mentioned in the media as well. Only 19 years of age, again, as I said. Reports have been coming out saying that reportedly Manchester United have held negotiations with Benfica, and that it's also said Chelsea have been interested in Joe Felix as well, because there was a narrative going on about this, back in the January transfer window, that Manchester United, were interested in Joe Felix and that. And reportedly his buyout clause is around £105 million, is Joe Felix as well. This is reportedly his buyout clause, Joe Felix, and he's yet to make his senior debut for Portugal. He only broke into the Benfica first team last year, but reportedly since he's broke into the Benfica first team, reportedly his performances have been very, very good indeed. I think he's attracted interest, Joe Felix, from quite a few teams. Man United instructed scouts, to keep a close eye out on the player as well. And Man United scouts have been watching him on a regular basis, but I think recent reports do suggest that Joe Felix is happy, with Benfica as well. So he is only very, very young, but he's been a Manchester United potential target as well. I don't think he's been a priority, but Manchester United, of course, have showed an interest in Joe Felix as well. So his name's being mentioned in the media. We know the rumours do continue to persist about Gareth Bale and all that as well. The rumours do continue to persist about that as well. And I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I'm just going to bang. And sorry, I just find something. Yeah, and I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is aware that Manchester United, need to be, trying to get some quality players, to Manchester United in the summer. And I think Solskjaer is aware of this. Of course, Gareth Bale obviously isn't a main priority. I don't think or something like that. But Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has refused to rule a move out, for the Welshman, this summer, of course, as well, because there has been a lot of rumours going on, reportedly, that Real Madrid are prepared to let Gareth Bale go this summer. Because obviously, Florentino Perez recently said Florentino Perez has lost patience with Gareth Bale and he's going to leave Real Madrid this summer. According to Dan Bollon, recent reports actually suggested out saying that Gareth Bale, was happy in Spain with Real Madrid and all that as well. But obviously now Zinedine Zidane has returned to Real Madrid. I think definitely Gareth Bale is on his way out of Real Madrid this summer, because Zinedine Zidane and Bale have both got a bad relationship together, as we all currently know. So they don't really get on, Zinedine Zidane and Gareth Bale, to be quite honest with you. And this could force Bale out of Real Madrid this summer. Anyway, because obviously Zinedine Zidane, of course, is already making plans for the summer, with Real Madrid. Of course, he's just been not too long ago reappointed manager. So this is his second spell now in charge of Real Madrid. I think he's going to get a £300 million spending spree to spend this summer, is Zinedine Zidane as well. And he's already identified, quite a few targets he would be interested in recommending to Real Madrid. Of course, he's going to sell players as well as Zinedine Zidane, of course, as well. But I think he'll get Real Madrid back to being a very, very consistent team and a competitive football team as well. Will Zinedine Zidane, just like he did before Zinedine Zidane. But obviously now he's returned back to management. But Bale, as I said, I think Real Madrid are going to find it extremely difficult, to recruit the initial £85-86 million I paid for him from Tottenham back in 2013. I do believe they could still get maybe £55-60 million, for Gareth Bale, to be quite honest with you, Real Madrid, to be quite honest with you, because this is sixth season now with Real Madrid, don't forget this is sixth season. Obviously, all his major honours he's won has obviously, become as a Real Madrid player. Don't forget he is the highest paid player in world football as well, because I think his wages are around, I think his wages are substantial. I think his wages are around £650,000 a week, Gareth Bale's as well. But I wouldn't want him to come to Manchester United anyway, Gareth Bale, to quite honest with you, because he's aging up. He's nearly 30 years of age. Of course, he's got a record of injuries and he's injury prone as well as Gareth Bale. So I wouldn't want him anywhere to come to Manchester United. And he's still under contract with Real Madrid, until 2022 as well. But when he was younger, he did have 6 good years with Tottenham. He grew, developed and flourished fantastically well, especially, when he was in the Premier League. Gareth Bale, began his career with Southampton as well. But for me, I wouldn't want Manchester United, to go on and sign Gareth Bale as well. So we do know that there's rumours that's been going on about that as well. But Solskjaer's not refused to rule a move out for the Welshman, of course, as well. Another target, Manchester United, of course, have been interested. And we know that Philippe Coutinho has been mentioned in the media as well. And I don't think he's a priority, for Manchester United, to be quite honest with you, is Philippe Coutinho. And we do know Philippe Coutinho, as Dig currently say, there was a narrative going on about it back in January, that there's been rumours that Coutinho has been linked to a move to Old Trafford. Recent reports have been saying that, there has been some kind of negotiations with his representatives. Recent reports did say a couple of weeks ago that reportedly saw Coutinho had spoken to some of our players, regarding a potential move to Old Trafford this summer. Reportedly, he would be available for around £100 million would Philippe Coutinho as well. Because Barcelona, if they do decide to sell him this summer and he does leave, obviously they're not going to recoup the initial £142 million I paid for him from Liverpool in January of last year, of course, as well, because he has been at Barcelona just over a year as Coutinho as well. He's mainly an attacking mid, but he can actually operate as a right winger as well. He did say Chelsea were also interested in Coutinho as well, but reports coming out saying that he misses the Premier League. He wants to return back to the Premier League as well. But as I did currently say, he hasn't lived up to expectation levels at Barcelona, and he's failed to replicate the form he did at Liverpool. Because don't forget, he had 5 great years when he was at Liverpool. Philippe Coutinho and all that, but he's really enjoyed a very, very difficult time with Barcelona. As I said, he's really struggled to fit under their system. he's been struggling to get game time, so he has been lacking game time as well. So he has been surplus to requirements at Barcelona, as well as Philippe Coutinho. And don't forget, he's the third most expensive player in world football. Philippe Coutinho, behind Neymar and Mbappe, of course, as well. But there's been moves of him being linked to a move to Old Trafford, but I don't think Manchester United, as reports do mention, are keen on signing him as well. So his name has been mentioned as well. But he could still actually leave Barcelona this summer, even though he has got a long contract with Barcelona as well, Philippe Coutinho. And other targets we've been interested in, and we definitely do need a strong central defender, as we all currently know. And recent reports did say that Solskjaer is not interested in buying any defenders, reportedly, because he wants to, as I did say, wants to give our current defenders, a chance to improve and prove themselves and all that as well. And this is what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was explaining. But as I did say, reports coming out the other day, as we all know, about Toby Alderweireld, of course, as well. And his name got mentioned in the media, Toby Alderweireld. Obviously, Manchester United, of course, were linked to him last summer. Manchester United expressed a strong interest in him in last summer. Man United were in talks with Tottenham over regarding a potential move for Alderweireld, but Manchester United couldn't come to an agreement. But recent reports did come out a couple of days ago saying that Tottenham are resigned to losing Toby Alderweireld to Manchester United, reportedly. So it did say Manchester United are the favourites to sign him this summer. Toby Alderweireld, of course, as well. It did say Man United are expected to sign him this summer based on his, his refusal, to renew his contract with Tottenham and all that as well. So he's refused to commit to a new contract with Tottenham as Toby Alderweireld. And of course, Manchester United were linked to him last summer, and we definitely need to address our defensive deficiencies as well. But for me, Toby Alderweireld can be a world-class central defender, as I said, but I do have some kind of reservations about him now because he's just recently turned 30 years of age. He's aging up now, he's Toby Alderweireld, and he has lost that yard of pace, to be quite honest with you, as Alderweireld. And he's going to be available for a reasonable fee this summer of around £26 million, because Tottenham last year activated a 12-month extension and obviously included a release clause in that as well for just £26 million. So that will be tempting as well, for Manchester United, to go in for Alderweireld as well. So we definitely, we need someone like an Alderweireld, or we need Koulibaly, to address our defensive deficiencies, as we all currently know as well. But as I did say, we do expect, players, to definitely, leave Manchester United this summer, of course, as well. And as I did say, Valencia is definitely on his way out of Manchester United this summer after Manchester United opted against the decision, to give him that new one-year contract extension. This is 10th season now, Manchester United, and over the years he has been essential and he has grown and developed and all that, and he's won everything here domestically now, and he's made over 300 appearances. But initially he's lost his place in the team, and at the moment he is out with a calf injury. Reports have been saying that actually Arsenal have been interested in the summer move for Antonio Valencia as well. But he is age 33 now, isn't he? Valencia, so he's a player that's definitely likely to leave United this summer. As I did say, Darmian, I think, is on his way out of Manchester United as well. He's another player that's on his way out of Manchester United, Matteo Darmian as well. And I do think he's leaving because he's enjoyed a very, very difficult time at Manchester United, as Matteo Darmian as well. So I do think he's going to be leaving the club, Matteo Darmian, this summer as well. And I think Sanchez is definitely leaving Manchester United as well, and he's another player I think is going to leave because, as I did say, I think he's lost his place in the team as Alexis Sanchez. Enjoyed a difficult time as a Manchester United player. As I said, he hasn't lived up to expectation levels. He's failed to make an impact. He hasn't really established himself, when he has been given the opportunity, Alexis Sanchez, as we all know as well. So he has been very, very disappointing. It may be hard to find a buyer for Sanchez summer, considering that he's on his wages of over £500,000 a week. It's going to be hard to find a buyer, so we may consider sanctioning Martin loan, or unless there's some kind of a wage cut or something like that, to sanction Alexis Sanchez off. But I think he has initially lost that number 7 shirt anyway. I think he will lose that number 7 shirt. Obviously he's sustained quite a few injuries since he's been here. He's obviously now got a knee injury, and initially it did say he's going to be out for 4 to 6 weeks, he's Sanchez as well. And he's had other injuries here. He's suffered a couple of hamstring injuries here as well. And I think Solskjaer's lost faith in him, and he's lost trustworthy in Sanchez, to be quite honest with you, because he just hasn't fitted under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's system. And every time he's played, he's just looked restricted. He hasn't looked like he's been getting that freedom when he has been given the chance to play Sanchez. He has been very, very very disappointing indeed. So I think he'll go in the summer, Alexis Sanchez, to be quite honest with you. And he's age 30 now, and he has lost that yard of pace, but he's nowhere near the player he was Arsenal, to be quite honest with you. So to quite honest with you, I think he's on his way out of Manchester United this summer as well. So as I did say, we do expect departures this summer, to be quite honest with you. As I did update you, as I did say yesterday on my live video that I did yesterday, if you catch up with that, obviously reports coming out now in relation to David De Gea. Manchester United in the process want to come to an agreement, to get David De Gea, of course, a new contract at Manchester United, as we all currently know. And Manchester United have been in negotiations over a new, I think, £350,000 a week deal with, David De Gea reportedly. But the last time I did hear about this contractual situation, it did say David De Gea was happy at Manchester United and he wants to commit his long-term future with Manchester United. But I think he was demanding that he wanted to be the highest paid player alongside Alexis Sanchez. Did David De Gea reportedly as well. And I think at that point he did say he was demanding that he wanted around £400,000 a week, David De Gea and all that as well. But we do want to keep David De Gea, of course, as well. A while back he was discussing about Manchester United's ambitions to be up there, competing for silverware and all that as well. Because obviously, as a goalkeeper that wants to be up there, challenging for major honours and all that, as he was discussing, a while back, David De Gea. Obviously, last year we activated a 12-month extension on his contract, so he is still under contract here until at least 2020 and all that as well. But reports have been coming out yesterday, as we all can know, that Real Madrid are reportedly set to revive their interest in David De Gea, and of course we know that Real Madrid have been long admirers of David De Gea, of course, as well. And obviously, Real Madrid were on the brink of getting him back in 2015, 4 years ago and all that as well. But due to a fax machine or something like that on deadline day, Real Madrid had failed in their pursuit of getting David De Gea, and he remained loyal to Manchester United and ended up staying there with Manchester United, did De Gea and all that as well. But now, obviously, as I did say, Zinedine Zidane just recently, not too long ago, been reappointed Real Madrid manager. As I did say, he's going to get around £300 million to spend this summer, is Zinedine Zidane, and he has identified, David De Gea as a potential target. So I think Zinedine Zidane does admire David De Gea. I think it probably cost Real Madrid, if he was available, to leave David De Gea around £75 million or something like that, as it does mention in the media as well. But I think David De Gea is happy at Manchester United. To be quite honest with you, he's been here a number of years now. Of course, this is what his 7th, 8th season now, is it? With Manchester United or something like that. He's made 100 Premier League clean sheets. He's made over 300 odd appearances in all competitions as well. And of course, he's won everything he had, domestically in English football as well as David De Gea. And of course, he's won the Club's Player of the Year 4 out of the last 5 seasons. He's won the Smart Busby Player of the Year quite a few times as well, David De Gea. So he is potentially, the best goalkeeper in the world. And the rumours had died down for quite a while, because I think then Real Madrid had dropped their interest for quite a while in David De Gea. But now Zinedine Zidane's return, the rumours have come back, of David De Gea being linked with a move to Real Madrid as well. So hopefully somewhere along the line, we can come to an agreement of getting him a new contract as well. Obviously, he had a lot of experience of playing in Spain when he was young, David De Gea, of course, as well. And obviously all his relatives are in Spain are David De Gea's. But I think he's happy with Manchester United in English football, because he's made a fantastic impact indeed as well. So I do believe, as I did say, I still believe, that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, will get the Manchester United job on a full-time basis, without a shadow of a doubt. Considering, that we've suffered back-to-back defeats, to be quite honest with you. And initially, as I did say against Wolves, we did go with our strongest 11. That was the strongest 11, apart from Romero, that was our strongest, strongest team, that Manchester United, currently went with, of course, as well. But it was just a very, very disappointing performance of Manchester United. And I think that's one of the poorest performances so far under the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer vein, to be quite honest with you. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer himself, says he was unhappy with the attack, he was unhappy with the link-up play and all that as well, because it was just a very, very poor performance of Manchester United. Even though we did obtain a lot of possession, especially in the first half, we didn't do much with it. Matic, was very, very slow. He was very, very ineffective. He played a lot of misplaced passes in that midfield. Herrera wasn't that good either, even though Herrera's performances have really, really improved since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has come in under Herrera's. But he's only just recovered from a hamstring injury as Ander Herrera, but he was very, very poor there, was Ander Herrera, to be quite honest with you, against Wolves, to be quite honest with you. And I don't think we've got Lingard or Martial enough in the game, to be giving support, to Marcus Rashford through the middle, to be quite honest with you. So I thought Martial was poor, Lingard wasn't getting enough in the game, Rashford wasn't that good either, and I don't think Rashford's been the same player since he sustained that ankle injury against Liverpool. Now he's recovered from that ankle injury. I don't think he's been the same player, since he has recovered from that ankle injury, Rashford. Rashford, because we know he's like lightning usually. He likes to get them runs in behind of course, as well, Marcus Rashford. And I thought Martial wasn't that good either. Lingard obviously just recovered from a hamstring injury as well. In my opinion, maybe people may be criticising Ole Gunnar Solskjaer in this scenario, maybe saying that why did he play Herrera? He's just had a hamstring injury. Why did he play Lingard? He's just had a hamstring injury. I think some people like saying, why don't you maybe give Tominway another opportunity again? Andres Pereira another opportunity again, because obviously when they've been playing more in recent weeks, when we've obviously had this string of injuries in midfield. To be fair, they have been very, very impressive. Andres Pereira and Scott McTominay and all that. I know they came on in the game, but obviously they didn't start of course as well. But I don't think there was one good performance from Manchester United play. Luke Shaw maybe did okay in the game. Romero had to make some world class saves in that game against Wolves as well. But I thought it was just a bad performance from Manchester United. Didn't really create any chances, couldn't make any room, couldn't exploit Wolves, because Wolves played well defensively and their game plan worked out. Their game plan was to park the bus and hit us on the counter attack, and that's exactly what currently Wolves did as well. And it's very, very disappointing. Now without the FA Cup, of course, it's a great achievement from their perspective. They're through to an FA Cup semi-final. Since for the first time, since 1998, Wolves as well. And as I did say, it was going to be a difficult game, Wolves, because Wolves, very, very good team this season. Nuno Santos done a really, really good job, and the record against the big top sides are very, very impressive this season. Wolves is as well, so they've got a good record against the big teams this season as well. And I think Nuno, what's his name, Raul Jimenez, he scored for Wolves and he played really, really well the other night for Wolves. Diego Jota played very, very well for Wolves the other night as well, and I think they looked a fantastic partnership in Wolves' attacking line. But don't forget, Wolves have invested money, because they did spend quite a bit of money last summer as well, did Wolves as well. So we knew it was always going to be a difficult game, as I currently said. So we'll have to try and get revenge on Wolves in the Premier League, on the 2nd of April when we do go to Molineux again. But yeah, I still think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is definitely safe now to get the Manchester United job on a full-time basis. The only time I don't think he will be safe is if we do now, after the international break, go on a bad run of form, and then questions will be asked from Manchester United fans who should come in. As I currently said, and there is still talks going on about Pochettino. To quite honestly, I think he's still actually in the picture. Is Pochettino, because obviously for a long, long time he was Ed Woodward's number one. To get Pochettino, Ed Woodward wanted to get Pochettino to come to Manchester United at the end of the season, to get the Manchester United job reportedly. But I don't think the rumours have died down about that as well. But either way, Pochettino, even if Solskjaer doesn't get the job full time, I don't think we'll get Pochettino anyway, because he's no intentions of leaving Tottenham. To be quite honest, I think he's really, really happy at Tottenham. He's done a really, really good job with Tottenham. He's good at growing and developing young players, and I think they've spent about £254 million of Tottenham, since he got recommended there in 2014. So this is his 5th season now, isn't it? With Tottenham, is Mauricio Pochettino's. Of course, his record's really, really good with Tottenham, but Pochettino doesn't know the club like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Pochettino hasn't proven himself in terms of winning any silverware, because he hasn't won all as manager, but his record at Tottenham's very, very good. His record when he was Southampton manager, was very, very good indeed. Pochettino's as well, and obviously he signed a 5-year deal last summer, so obviously it's going to cost us quite a bit of money, in compensation, to get him in anywhere. Pochettino, if we do decide to turn to Pochettino, if results don't go right in the next after the international break as well, and he's done well with Tottenham. They haven't been in a good run of form lately in the league. Tottenham, they've obviously they haven't been in a good run of form lately in the league, as we all know, but they progressed to the quarterfinals of the Champions League. They got, obviously Pochettino got to them to last 16 last season as well, getting them 2nd place finishes, 3rd place finishes, of course, and he's done a really, really good job as Mauricio Pochettino. But I think he's been managing, this is his 10th season now in management, overall. He started managing in 2009, did Pochettino as well. So yeah, so that's mainly everything to update today. So I'm still think Solskjaer, will get the job permanently, considering, the defeat, where we suffered to Wolves as well. I still think he'll get the job, and it is back-to-back defeats, as I said. Sometimes teams go on a bad spell, as I said, but you can't argue what Solskjaer's done. We've had a great 3 months under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, as I currently said. So anyway, guys, that's all the transfer rumours and all the other news to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe, as always, and take care. God bless, guys, and I'll